he came as a leader, but in the meeting, as it goes on, I realize the intention of the minister to go there was political motivated. Why am I saying so? Is as a leader who had the problems of Okahandja for so long, how can he come and engage with the citizens and not find a solution? We can't really rely on saying he can't take action because there's a grace period of time. So, in my understanding, his motives were political motivated, and it's not as it is as for the residents.
Yeah. Now, what are some of the burning issues that you have raised, and why were they, ignored for so long? What are some of the issues that Okahandja really is facing at the moment?
Actually, Okahandja is facing a lot of issues. Let's start with the Red Force, which the minister himself raised concern of saying the contract cannot be extended once it expires. Now, if you can look to his explanation and to the Local Authority Act, there is no a third party in terms of between the municipality and the residents in terms of water supply.
Right.
Regarding to that, the minister had the power to terminate the contract of Red Force in this country because it doesn't go hand in hand with the Local Authority Act. But due to that, he's scapegoating not to cancel the contract. He's also saying no, it has to wait. When it expires is when it will be terminated. The minister has the power to terminate the contract. Why can't he do it in the interest of the people? As he is a leader. A leader will never escape to do the right things for the people. So prior to that, we come to the land issues, where the minister himself spoke that land has to be allocated to those who have applied and not to those who are grabbing it. It's understandable, but there is a confusion there because we have to look to the reality as it is. People apply land from 2017 and until now have never received their plots. I'm one of the people who applied for land in 2019. I ended up losing that card. I have never been on the list to be called that. This is my plot. Do you get my point? Now for a minister to say land should be allocated to those who are applying and not to those who are grabbing, to me, without the minister explaining, how is he going to speed the process of giving the power to the municipalities to allocate land to the people, or is it just a political statement? So he didn't make it clear to that. And in his statement of regarding to the land, it's supposed to be very clear to the citizens and say, as of today on, we will have to do a review in terms of the policies in the Local Authority Acts, or a reform, speaking under correction.
Yeah.
So that the citizens can be aware of what is really coming. But when you just give good impressions without you explaining to the citizens what is really coming, that is another way of just giving false hope. It's just like a fake promise. So now to the land issue, as I can just stop that way, we come to the issue of the dumping site. I don't know how will I explain that. I have never been in a town where I see a dumping site is in the middle of town. In Okahandja, the dumping site is in town. It's not 2 kilometers, it's not 1 kilometer. It's between 500 meters in town. If you go through, there's a location they are calling, named after the late Kazenambo, a Kunde or something like that. It's probably 60 meters from the dumping site to the first house in that location. And this is the same land tenure program that they are busy allocating to the people who applied. But now, where is the hygiene for the citizens? Because when they are burning, the whole smoke is entering in their houses. For those who have standard houses, it's better. For those who have corrugated irons, it's very worse. Especially the young ones, the kids, they'll end up having TB. Pregnant women might end up having miscarriage because of the toxic that they are busy inhaling. As a minister, when he was addressing the meeting, there was a gentleman called by the name George Shikongo, if I'm not wrong. He wrote to the municipality to be given the power to make a recycling plant of the dumping site. But the municipality were busy playing cat and mouse until when he has to go speak about it when we were having a meeting with the minister. And to my disappointment is we wanted to hear from the minister say, I want to go see that dumping site because it's not fenced. But the minister did not come out and tell us if he was willing to go see the dumping site so that he can see for himself the danger the people in Okahandja are living into. He left us with that.
Yeah. Now that you shared your concerns with the minister, what is your reaction and what are your expectations now going forward, especially seeing that you seemingly are disappointed with not the many concerns not having met?
You see, this thing, as we were expecting more from the minister, the people are still going back and question. On my way coming here, I received calls. People were asking me the last time they saw the municipality to their sides in terms of the survey, land allocation. They are now seeing different people being taken at their spots where they're supposed to be shared as they are 3 in 1 yard. But the municipality is going to get people from a different location and come allocate them the plot. The same person that called me and told me that, send me an SMS, and I have it. So the expectation from the minister in this, if he didn't go to Okahandja on a political motive, he must come back to the nation and address and give a report. What did he see in Okahandja? And who needs to take action against the failed councillors that are in Okahandja? Because this issue is not something that we can just sit around and give political statements. It's a serious issue that needs attention.
When you say the minister's meeting was politically motivated, what exactly do you mean?
You have to look at the problems that we were indicating in the letter. How was it met? The minister did not make it clear. If not only pointing on Red Force. Now, if the minister was not there for political motives, because now the minister is protecting a fellow mayor who is from Swapo, and putting it to look like the IPC councillor, he's the cause of all the problems in Okahandja, because he opposed on his directive that he gave that Red Force has to be cancelled when the contract ends. It has to be not to be renewed. So if the minister was real about the people, why don't he cancel the survey as the governor did? The governor took time, investigate the issue, and then he said the survey must be stopped because it's not making many people happy. It's not only the 2 plots. There's a lot of things that are happening in Okahandja with regard to the survey where people are being moved from this spot to another spot. And in that meeting, when we had the minister, I requested for a lot of things. Some I might mention now. I asked in the presence of the minister. The minister should request his council to provide us a list of how many young people that were assisted with education loans. As it's indicated in the Local Authority Acts, the municipality may grant bursaries and loans for education purposes. The minister did not question that to the council. I still went on and asked the mayor to make it very clear if she did receive the letters of the people who did a survey in Oshwarongo and in Karibe, which, in my understanding, the minister responded by saying, we can't just go for a cheaper price simply because it's cheap. The service might be poor. But just there, if it's about the service being poor, if these people surveyed in Oshwarongo, people got the Fs, and there was no misconduct. They come in Karibe, they do the same things. So how were they coming to cause chaos in Okahandja if he wasn't going to play politics and he went there for the interest of the people? Because everyone was looking to that. And even the public, in his presence, they were requesting to remove the committees that are running that same scheme of the survey, which on his presence, the mayor responded no. And others said no. And he was seated. And he responded, I cannot remove a committee because it was elected by the people. But who is running the local authority power? I can say this. He's the president of the local authorities in this country. He has the power to determine if the people should vote for a new committee or they should not. But what he did is, it's like taking a drop of water and pour it in the ocean. And then you say, look for it. So people are still now with a confusion where they want to know, they want to be made understood. What was the purpose of the minister in Okahandja?
Very well. So let's talk about the youth, which of course is the backbone of almost every community. What role does the youth play in actually making sure that the town's development is looked after?
I can tell you the youth are playing a very big role, especially in Okahandja. It's not that the youth are left behind by the state because it's by mistake. It's something that the government, I think, is busy engineering, that the young people should remain behind. Why am I saying so? There was an NYDF, the National Youth Development Forum funds. Yep. If you look, up to now as we are seated, in Okahandja, you are working with the broadcasting. Can you remember if you have heard that the councillors from Okahandja has called on the young people in Okahandja to go to the council's office so they can be made understood? How can they apply for this youth grant so they can start business? There's nothing. There's no way you can find it. So the young people themselves, if you go in town, you will find them struggling, selling kapanas, selling plakis. These clothes that are just being shipped in, the youth are trying so much. But the council, the people who are running the administration in Okahandja, they really don't care. It's very, very painful to know in Okahandja, there's no a youth center or any recreation center for the youth. There's nothing. And this NYC, you will only see it on WhatsApp group. They don't advocate anything for the young people in Okahandja. Awareness, nothing. Even the mayor herself, if I remember very well, I saw a post where they gathered young people. It was something like soup combes, something like that. For the young people to be given maybe cups of coffee or whatever it is. Then you, as a person who think, we don't want the young people to be fed like pigs. We want young people to be given finance to those who are having the experience to do business. Give them finance to start a business. To those who want to do tertiary, to do their further studies, fund them. Most of the crimes in Okahandja are committed because the people running the administration are failing to look after the young people. Okahandja is not a town that someone will just walk in and they come, vote for what. If you sit and look at that town is a semi-center of the country. And if
and just on that very point, if you say the semi-center of the country, what are some of the economic opportunities or potential that that town actually has?
If you look at the land in Okahandja, you can start a green scheme with it, especially the potatoes. You can grow them, which can provide food and jobs to the young people in Okahandja. It's not only about us seeking minerals that we have to find minerals. If you can check these mountains there, those rocks are laying around. You can still create employment by trying to educate the young people. How can we use those rocks that are all over Okahandja for us to make a brick project, which we can sell and compete with the Chinese? But they will not do that because they have shares with the Chinese. Okahandja used to have a swimming pool. That swimming pool was killed deliberately so they can create a market for cross-barmen, NWR. How would you have a town without a recreation center, a swimming pool, a national youth office, and all such benefits that the youth supposed to get is not there? The only thing that is there is a municipality and an old building of TransNamib. Then you find those old buildings of apartheid. So you who's coming in as a leader, what you're supposed to seek from your government, if you want to create a town that will be for everyone and create employment, you must seek funds. You need someone that will look at Okahandja and say, Okahandja needs to be industrialized. There are many companies that are willing to have their warehouses and create employment in Okahandja. But the leaders, they are playing weak politics, or I can say stomach politics, because they always want to get something in return for the future of their kids. But it's not about for the future of everyone in the town.
Very well. As an activist, then, what are your steps, going forward? You expressed dismay over the ministers' meeting with the residents, as well as that of the council leadership of Okahandja. What's going to be done now? What are the next steps, even for you as an activist and as a resident of Okahandja?
The way forward, as we are standing, is we have organized ourselves. My colleagues, I can say, because I'm not part of Okahandja Consent Group on my own, the people still came back to me and say, we are not satisfied. We want the minister to come back to Okahandja and make us understand. And as to me, I told them, I'm not into the things of causing dramas. If there is anything you can do right now, organize yourself as the residents. Look for a credible candidate of your choice. If that is very difficult, you can still write a letter to the minister and tell him, whatever you came to attend here, we are not happy. We still want you here to come and make us understand. Why did you not stop the survey? And why did... Because in this issue, as the minister, like I said before, the minister cannot fire the councillors, which to some people it will be understandable that it's because of the grace time. But to some people, they are going to say it is a political motive, because even myself, him going there, it's a clear understanding that we were having a monology dialogue in his presence. We were talking to ourselves in his presence. So his going there did not make any fruitful discussion to that. So we need the minister to make it clear. He must now act as a leader. and tell the residents what is the way forward. Because if I go back in the street again and tell the people, write a letter, send it to the minister is going to come back with the ideology of telling the people, I am campaigning. But in this instant, the minister himself must give a report. I wanted to take the minister and the governor after the meeting to Vryfront. There is a granny of 65 years who have been staying in Namibia for so long. He's having a national identity of Angola. He's having 3 daughters at the house, and it's a small house with 6 kids. How I ended up finding that house, I wasn't going to campaign or look for informations. I was driving, coming from Osona going to Okahandja. When at the notice board where it's 10 kilos to Okahandja, I found a young boy who seems to be the age between 8 and 9, walking with a school bag. I felt like, is the kid running from something or what is going on? And we were 2 in the car with one young lady. I have to stop. I stopped for the kid. I called him. Then I asked him, where are you coming from? The kid speaks only the African language. He doesn't go to school. He said, I went to Osona to go eat. I asked him to go eat. He said, yes, I eat in dustbins in Osona. Then I shake my head. I have to take his bag and check. And what I found in that bag, it's proof. He went to go pick up remaining food, different things, plastics, cans. And I drove that child until at the house, where I came to go meet the parents, because the boy started crying. When I asked, where is your mom? He started crying. I have the video in my smartphone. It's just that I left it at home. It was low. But I can send it to you if you need it. The boy started crying. Then he said, I don't go to school, but I really want to go to school. But there's no money. And when I came to that house, I find out all those kids, they don't go to school. And my intention was, I want that boy to have a bright future. I really want to pay for those kids to go to school. But the problem is this. They don't have documents. Their parents are not having documents. And the painful thing is this. A fellow African here is difficult to get citizenship. But Chinese, when they come here, they get citizenship. And when they get citizenship, they qualify for any benefit that the country is offering. So it is, to me, it is a big disappointment of that meeting we had, because I really wanted to take them to go show them. And I also wanted to take the minister to the places so that he can see how is this survey causing problems in Okahandja, which I'm sure he didn't go in the ground and see it for himself, because now the only thing he's having is the letter and the other papers that were offered. He doesn't have evidence of everything that the people spoke in that meeting. And some of them started saying, we were being victimized by the minister because he didn't give a chance to everyone to speak, which I realized, okay, it's not a problem. He was having a meeting to go attend somewhere. Yeah. But there are many, many people who wanted to give their problems, because people from all locations came and they have problems. Like I mentioned, the sewage system in Okahandja, today is Wednesday.
That's correct.
Yes. Thursday, you might find sewage is running. The water smell is just a normal thing, because the pipes are so old and they need a new sewage system that we have to remove the old one and replace bigger pipes, because Okahandja is now overpopulated. And it's overpopulated as a good zone for business. If there is leaders that really wants to make business, Okahandja is a very good town with that population.
Paul,